should never fall asleep around your buddies.
Totally Weird and Funny. New series premieres tonight at 9 on KTLA 5.
Good morning, I'm Carlos Herrera, live in the KTLA newsroom. Right now, we're following news out of Russia where a major development is going on. Thousands of rebel mercenaries are marching towards Moscow with the goal of overthrowing the military leadership there. We're live with the details coming up next.
We're following latest developments out of Long Beach where a woman is dead following a dispute. What led to the tragic ending?
And killer whales strike again. A pod of orcas caught on camera attacking a boat. This time, it was broadcast for the world to see.
And some of us seeing a little bit of cloud coverage right now. We will see sunshine by this afternoon, and temperatures will be a little bit warmer today. But if you're ready for summer-like temperatures, they are on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
And Lonnie Love joining us live to talk about Project Angel Food. We'll give you a preview, and we'll share some of the funny videos she created. That's coming up in entertainment.
Good morning and welcome to the KTLA Weekend Morning News at 9 o'clock. I'm Lauren Lister.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. Thank you for joining us. You guys have been sending photos all day, showing us how you enjoy being outdoors. Keep on sending those photos. But today is a special day, and I'm contractually obligated to say happy birthday to Casey.
Yeah. Casey, happy birthday. And you know what? We are going to be showing a story that you wrote and put together.
We're excited.
That we all took part in. A really cool kind of virtual reality.
Afternoon. 66 in Long Beach right now, 66 in Santa Ana, 63 in Burbank, 73 in Lancaster. And temperatures for this afternoon will look like this: 101 for Palm Springs, 80 for Van Nuys, 74 in Long Beach, and 82 degrees in Chino. We'll talk about the rest of the weekend and then that much warmer weather that's on the way. That's coming up.
Casey, thank you. We're following developing news in Downey where 4 people were killed in a violent and fiery crash on the 5 freeway early this morning. It happened around 2:30 this morning, just west of the 605. CHP says only one vehicle was involved in the crash. All 4 victims inside were pronounced dead at the scene. When officers arrived, the car was overturned and fully engulfed in flames. You see it here, some of the images. That fire then spread to a brush on the side of the freeway, but soon crews showed up and put the fire out. Investigators are still working to figure out what led to this deadly crash.
And in Long Beach, police say a woman was shot and killed following a dispute outside a home. It happened around 1 this morning near the area of Roycroft Avenue and East 6th Street. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Her identity has not yet been released. We did speak with a resident who lives in the neighborhood. She tells us she's now concerned for her safety.
It was surprising to find out that there was a death right on the street. It's a really, really quiet street. You don't hear too much on this street, so I'm a little shocked being a resident. I am concerned for my safety, and that is a problem.
No word yet on who was involved in the dispute that led to the shooting or what it was about. The investigation is ongoing and will continue to follow this developing story.
A fight for control of Moscow and Russia is on its way.
A convoy of rebellion fighters and tanks from the Wagner Group are hours away from the capital. KTLA's Carlos Herrera is live in the newsroom with the latest on this unfolding situation. Carlos?
Yeah, this could very well be the most significant challenge to the Russian state in recent times. Right now, thousands of rebel mercenaries are marching towards Moscow with the goal of overthrowing Russia's military leadership. They're now some 200 miles south of the capital city. Video from Moscow shot just hours ago in a sign of how seriously the Kremlin has taken this threat. Authorities there declaring a counter-terrorist regime. Security now expected to be heightened in the capital city for the next few days. Now, people in Moscow confused, of course, urging for unity in the country. They're uncertain what will happen next, but all of them seem to be agreeing on one thing. This rebellion undermines Russia's war effort in Ukraine. It comes after months of tensions between the Russian military and Yevgeny Prigozhin, the owner of the mercenary Wagner Group. The feud is over the invasion of Ukraine. Prigozhin challenged President Vladimir Putin's justifications for the war and accused Russia of attacking and killing 2,000 of his soldiers. Russian generals, in turn, are accusing him of trying to mount a coup against Putin. This is video from Saturday morning when an explosion hit a fuel depot in the city of Voronezh, about 250 miles south of Moscow. A helicopter there could be seen flying low over the city just moments before that explosion. Now, in the city of Rostov-on-Don, residents waking up to military vehicles taking up positions and cordoning off streets. Prigozhin claiming he has control of the military headquarters there. It's unclear how he entered the city or how many troops he had with him. But despite the visible signs of active fighting, Prigozhin insisting his 25,000-strong mercenary force is not staging a military coup. In a public address today, Putin vowing to defend the country and its people from the armed rebellion.
И наш народ, и нашу государственность от любых угроз.
Putin there calling Prigozhin's action a stab in the back and a treason. He also condemned the rebellion at a time when Russia was fighting the toughest battle for its future with its war in Ukraine, in which the Wagner Group had played a pivotal role. Now, the two have known each other for several years. Prigozhin is a businessman who became rich through his ties with Putin, winning lucrative government contracts while building the Wagner mercenary force. The shadowy private military company first emerged during Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014. Meantime, Russia announcing they've charged Prigozhin with calling for an armed rebellion, which carries a penalty for up to 20 years in prison. Foreign ministers from the G7 met today to discuss the armed rebellion. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying the U.S. was actually caught off guard, but will stay in close coordination with allies and partners as that situation develops. Pedro.
Carlos, thank you. The family of a would-be robbery victim in San Gabriel is thanking the Good Samaritan who thanked him. Tony Throth's dash cam video here shows the moment they saw the suspect try to snatch a gold chain off of an elderly man's neck.
I saw a older Asian lady, which reminds me of my mom, which just passed about 4 months ago. And then just what happened, the more I was looking at her, I saw her husband in the back getting robbed. I got out the car and ran over to help.
They're okay. They're a little shooken up, a little shocked, because they never experienced something like this before around the neighborhood.
Tony snapped these photos of the suspect before he fled the scene. He was driving a white Nissan Armada SUV with a Nevada license plate.
Local health officials are warning of a concerning increase in Mpox cases. In LA County, 6 people have tested positive in the past week. That's up from an average of less than 1 case per week during the last month. None of the 6 patients are hospitalized, though officials are doing contact tracing. Doctors are urging vaccinations among at-risk individuals to avert a potential summer surge. You can find a list of local walk-up vaccine clinics on our KTLA website.
The Golden State might be losing some of its appeal to longtime residents. A new poll says 1 in 4 residents want to move out of the Golden State. 20% say they're struggling to make ends meet. Roughly the same amount cited political reasons for a possible move. However, about a third say they live comfortably, and roughly the same amount enjoys the state's diversity. The key factor seems to be the overall cost of living in California. 80% of those surveys say it's too high.
All right, we have this story just for you, Casey. It's a little bit of a challenge for you.
All right, here's a weatherman going viral right now because he sneaks in some song lyrics into his newscast. Take a look.
Today, it's still DR.